Lottie Brunn, juggler, expert at her craft, which along with wire walking is considered the most uncertain of circus acts.
Juggling is the most nerve-wracking thing, and it's one thing you are never sure. I mean, you can be in great shape backstage and warm up terrific, but you go out and you can do a lousy show. Because, you know, I mean, you can take one ball, for instance, throw one ball up and you can drop it. This is just something, I mean, you have constantly things going in the air. This is one thing you just can never be sure, you know.
Plates, hoops, sticks. Juggling has a system. If you juggle 3, you cross them, or 5, or 7, or 9. Any uneven number, you cross them, hand to hand. But in even lots, 4, 6, 8, no crossing. If it leaves the left hand, it returns to the left hand. You can learn to juggle 3 balls in a few hours, but to juggle 3 balls well takes at least a month. To juggle 4, at least another 2 months. To juggle 5 takes 1 year. 7, a few more years. To juggle 9, a lifetime.
I can juggle 6 balls, and I can juggle 8 hoops. But I don't do the 8 hoops anymore because, and I did the 8 hoops in the end of my life. And it was a long thing, the only girl, which was true. I've never heard about a girl doing 8 hoops. I've never seen a woman doing 8 hoops. There are very few men who ever do 8 hoops. But I had a write-up in the Variety that the guy said, after all she does, it's such an anticlimax, the 8 hoops, because she cannot keep them in the air long enough to be effective. Which was true, you cannot keep the 8 hoops long enough. I have seen many jugglers doing 8 hoops, they flash them very short. Even Francis, like in Europe, when they were young, he was the only one at that time who did 8 hoops. It was a big thing in Europe, but he just flashed them once. And that was a big thing in Europe. But here in this country, it didn't mean anything. You know, actually, I find out, like, just for instance, Francis, he even flashed 10 hoops.
The Francis Lottie refers to was her teacher for many years. He is considered the world's greatest living juggler. His name is also Brunn, for he is her brother.
It's fantastic. I mean, there's nobody like him, and I don't think there ever will be, because you can't explain some of the tricks he does. You got to see them to really believe it, you know, because some of the stuff he does is really fantastic, which the audience, they don't even, they don't understand them. That goes over to people's head. He practices about 7-8 hours a day. He still does. Though he has made himself a very big name, I think the biggest under the jugglers in the world today, he still practices about 7-8 hours a day. And he's not just a juggling, but he also is a terrific acrobat and a dancer, and he has studied Spanish for quite a few years and has it all combined, you know, with the juggling, which I think makes him so outstanding.
We photographed Francis Brunn in a rehearsal hall in New York City because he spends most of his time in rehearsal. Though his act is highly styled, flashy, and impressive, underneath the gloss of performance is a devotion to his craft that is almost unparalleled today, certainly unshared by most men, whatever their trade. All great jugglers, Truzzi, Rostelli, Francis Brunn, have shared this devotion. There is no other way.
I rehearse all day long, really. I used to, when I was a kid, I used to do, if I tell you 10 and 11 and 12 hours a day, I'm not overdoing it. Now, today I'm still, let's say I go to Vegas or in any one of the cities where I do 2 shows a night. I go every afternoon, about 1 o'clock, I go to the theater and do, to the club and do about 2 hours, you know, of rehearsal. Then I go home and let's say the show is at 8 o'clock, the first show. I'll be back at the theater at 6:30. And do another 45 minutes warming up, and then I get dressed, put on the makeup, and then do another 20 minutes before I go on. And then the next show, then I do the show, which is only about 7 minutes, you know. But I don't know how other jugglers feel about it, but for me it's the most important thing to warm up, you know, and practice to get right there to be in good condition. Now, the worst thing for me, when I find out it can happen, let's say a show, sometimes you do club dates, like for instance yesterday when I did the Gleason show. They told me that I was supposed to go on at 8:30. Now I'm ready, I'm warmed up to go on at 8:30, and actually I'm going at 10 o'clock because things happen, you know. And this is the worst thing that could happen because you get cold again. Now by warming up again, it's a second time or a third time, it's no good because you either get too tired and you lose some feeling, you know. Standing all day long and it's no good. Just has to get ready to pitch, get real sharp, and then it's all right.
The tragedy of juggling is you cannot fake, and you work sometimes on your nerve alone.
Well, I think every performer, not only jugglers, I mean even a singer or anybody, has to be nervous. I've never really met anybody who said, I'm not nervous at all, because I feel when he says I'm not nervous at all, he's lying. Because everybody wants to do good when he goes out there. Mostly people who absolutely have no nerves, I find out they have no talent.